Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today I'm going to be sharing my customs haul from Lavender and Speckles. So Beth has opened customs probably about once a year, I would say, for the last few years, and that has been a great opportunity for me to get some blends off of her master scent list that I love. So that's really how I use customs. I know that so many people have a laundry list of ideas and different blends that they want to create, and what a great opportunity to make those scents come to life. For me, I use this as an opportunity. I do have a few custom blends here myself with various things, but I use this as an opportunity to go through her master scent list and get anything that hasn't been offered that I want to try, get larger bags of items that I want to repurchase. That's really how I use it. So don't feel like you have to make your own custom blend. Use her master scent list, which is so extensive, and there's so many great ideas, and every day there's new ideas on there pretty much because new people are doing customs and coming up with new blends. So there's so much out there that you can get that's already been created, and it's really, really sweet of Beth to offer customs because I'm sure that this is a lengthy process. You're kind of pouring in small amounts, and so thank you, Beth, for offering customs and giving us the opportunity to snag some of your amazing wax and kind of make our own creations. So this video I really want to dedicate to our friend Starling, because a lot of the blends that I got are his blends. So I'll go over that in detail, but I got some of his customs, I got his atmospheric sampler, and then I have a barrage of other things too. So they kind of logically go in a couple of groups. So I'll try to leave timestamps down below for sections. That way, if you're interested in certain scents, you can jump around. Let me start with the little freebie like sample that she gave me. She was so sweet, and she put in a clamshell of By the Fireplace Sophisticated and Beach Marshmallow. This is gorgeous. I don't know if this is a blend that she was testing or what, but you get the beautiful perfuminess from the By the Fireplace, the Sophisticated. The Beach Marshmallow is so creamy and kind of ties all those together. That is so good. I'm going to be definitely melting that in my bedroom. A place to put these once I'm done talking about it. Okay, the first kind of section I'm going to go over are Birchwood pine scents. So last year, and I apologize, I don't remember who worked on this sampler with Beth, but last year there was a Birchwood pine sampler. And you guys know, if you order from Lavender and Speckles, her scent lists are huge. A lot of times she offers multiple samplers per pre-order. There's only so much you can get. And so at the time, I skipped the Birchwood pine sampler. Then at some point, I got a sample of this scent in an order, and I melted it, and I fell in love with it. And I actually messaged Beth. I was like, do you have any of that sampler left? Like, is there like a straggler one in your shop? Like, I will buy it. I wanted the sampler so badly at that point because I fell in love with this scent. And unfortunately, you know, it was a stretch. There wasn't. And so I was like, okay, I'm writing this down. If customs comes up again, I'm getting this scent in customs. And she's calling it Pine and Pear. But this one is Birchwood Pine, Icy Vanilla Woods, and Fresh Pear. The combination of the Birchwood Pine, that slightly spicy tree scent, you get the sweet fresh pear, and then the very masculine woodsy ice vanilla woods. I feel like on warm, the pear kind of tones down a little bit, and I really get the Birchwood Pine and the icy vanilla woods. This is such a beautiful scent, and a scent that I would have never thought of. Like, I never would have thought about using pear I was going to say pairing pear. I thought that would sound weird. Using pear with like a tree scent. But it is gorgeous. And I love the kind of masculine woodsiness that the Icy Vanilla Woods gives it. Did you just hear a rip sigh? So very, very happy to have some more of that. And I got large bags for everything. Then I was going through the rest of the Birchwood Pine scents on her list to see if there was another one from that sampler that really stood out to me. And this one did. This one is Birchwood, Pine, and Buttercream. I thought this sounded so good because I feel like the Birchwood Pine would really stand out, and then you would have like the creaminess of the buttercream. And that's exactly what this is. You get the undertone of kind of that sweet vanilla buttercream, but it's very Birchwood Pine prominent and forward. This is really, really pretty, you guys. It's going to be so good for the holiday season. So I'm planning on melting these 3. Hopefully, I have a lot of Christmas wax, but the hope is to melt these around Christmas time. So Birchwood Pine and Buttercream. And then the last Birchwood Pine scent that I got, I created. So she's calling it Citrus Pine Noel. At least I think. I don't think this one was on the list. So this is Birchwood Pine, Christmas Wreath, and Roasted Pine Cone. So there was another scent on there that was Birchwood Pine and Christmas Wreath, and then a third oil. And I was like, I don't want that third oil. I want Roasted Pine Cone. There's one other custom in here that has Roasted Pine Cone in it. Obviously, I'm a big fan. Christmas Wreath, I think, is the Bath and Body Works type for, oh, what is that scent called? Something Wreath from Bath and Body. Winter Wreath? I can't think of what it is, but I think that's the Bath and Body Works dupe. You have the Birchwood Pine dupe and then adding Roasted Pine Cones. This is Christmas heaven. This is exactly what you think Christmas would smell like. You're getting, you know, the pine, the tree from the Roasted Pine Cones, the Birchwood Pine, but that Christmas wreath gives you kind of the orange, the spices, those traditional holiday kind of holiday baking types of fragrances almost, or like a holiday simmer pot. This is gorgeous. I love this so much. So if you like Christmassy scents, if you like tree, Citrus Pine Noel, I think that one is a winner. So that is it for the Birchwood Pine types of scents. And then the next category is laundry. And if you would have told me a year ago that I would have a whole section of my customs that are laundry focused, I would have thought you were crazy. But there's a couple laundry scents I love, and also one that I wanted to try and grabbed in this customs. So first up is Mountain Fresh Laundry. So I actually got this last year when I did customs, and I absolutely loved it. And so I was like, I'm gonna get more of it. This is Mountain Fresh, the downy type, roasted pine cones, and fresh cut grass. And so I made a note in the customs form if she could just go a little bit heavier on the roasted pine cones, because that's what we did a year ago when I asked for Mountain Fresh Laundry. Just up the roasted pine cone oil a little bit, just to, you know, it tones down the laundry some, and it was gorgeous. I don't know what exactly the correct ratio smells like, but I love the little bit of addition of roasted pine cone, and so I had to get this again. This is so pretty. You get the roasted pine cone, you get the grass. The laundry is definitely present, but it's not overpowering. I love the earthiness of this, and it really, the earthy notes really helps the laundry for me in here. This is gorgeous. So happy to have more of this. If you like laundry, but you like earthy types of fragrances, Mountain Fresh Laundry. Then I recently melted a clamshell of this one and was obsessed with it. I know that a lot of people really love this scent, so probably not a surprise, but I loved this on warm so much. Did I probably need a large bag? No, but I went with a theme, obviously, and that is Cotton Candy Laundry. This is one of the most beautiful laundry scents I have ever smelled. This is Cotton Candy Frosting and Island Fresh Laundry. The cotton candy is very strong in here, and when it's melting, it just gives it this sweetness. And again, similar to the Mountain Fresh Laundry, it just kind of tones down that in-your-face laundry note to me. This is so sweet. This is gorgeous. If you have not tried Cotton Candy Laundry, even if you're just dipping your toes into laundry, if you're trying to figure laundry out, I think this is the blend for you to try. It is beautiful, uber sweet, and you know, it's got laundry obviously too, but it's just a nice, sweet, clean, fresh scent for your whole house. So I had to grab more of that. Lastly is a laundry that I have never tried, but I've heard a lot about it recently, in particular from our favorite Summer Michelle. Summer is obsessed with this scent, and I know a lot of you guys are too. I've seen other people on Facebook talk about this, and so I wanted to try Oceanside Laundry. And I mean, that sounds up my alley for sure. Sea Air, Jasmine, Driftwood, and Fresh Laundry. This is gorgeous. This is so pretty. And what I like about this one is much less laundry than even the two that I just showed. This one smells a little bit laundry leaning, but it smells more aquatic, sea air, fresh air. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Ocean from Teddy Bees. Not that they're the same scent, but how Ocean from Teddy Bees kind of gives you a little bit of a laundry vibe, but it's also very aquatic and not very laundry heavy. That's kind of what I get from this as well. Where you're getting that, I definitely get the jasmine, I get the driftwood, I get that very fresh air, and the laundry is just kind of a hint in the background. If you like aquatic, fresh scents, this one is so pretty. So thank you to Summer for making that one popular. Next category, I'm gonna save all Sterlings for the end because that is huge. My next category are just 2 scents that are repeat purchases for me from her master scent list that I just wanted to get bigger bags of. So first is A Walk in the Rain. This was from the Rain sampler that Melissa Ferguson did with Beth. This scent is gorgeous, and I've been working through that Rain sampler, and so far this is the one that has just really stood out to me. This is Rain, Peppermint, and Fresh Cut Grass. I love fresh cut grass. I love peppermint. You get the aquatic rain. This is beautiful, and this is so strong. What I love about this one too is I feel like you get a good mix of the rain, the peppermint, and the fresh cut grass. You definitely have to like peppermint to appreciate this blend. The peppermint is present, but the way it blends with the grass, I love that combination of mint and grass. And right now I'm really into like rosemary mint, herbaceous mints, those types of fragrances. They have been my favorite, and so this one kind of leans on that vibe as well. Gorgeous. Like I said, I'm still working through the rest of the Rain sampler, but so far A Walk in the Rain has been my favorite, and I had to get more of it. And then one of just her classic scents that I absolutely love that I was out of is Angry Sea. This is such a beautiful kind of atmospheric scent as well. You almost could put this in with Sterling's atmospheric blends. It gives you that type of fragrance. It is black amber, lavender, plum, sweet florals, ozone with notes of vanilla and amber. This is so pretty. It's very perfumey in a lot of ways. Very sweet, very fresh. You're definitely getting the amber, the lavender, some ozone. Definitely makes it atmospheric in nature. gorgeous. One of my favorites from Lavender and Speckles. I mean, there's so many that I love from her shop, but if you like perfumey scents, if you like lavender and plum and ozonic fragrances, Angry Sea is so, so good. And then one that doesn't kind of fit in any category, it is one custom that I did from her. So I did the Citrus Pine Noel, which Beth named, but just came up with the scent notes that I wanted together. And this one, this is Sugared Violet, Beach Marshmallows, and Roasted Pine Cones. So I did this combination because of a Teddy Bee scent. So Teddy Bees just came out with that Vanilla Orchid Noir, I think, if I'm remembering the name of it correctly. And she had it in the RTS, and then she just offered it in this pre-order. I bought a tub of it, but I have been gifted samples of it, so I have been able to try it, which is amazing because that scent just screams my name. All the scent notes about it, it's like it was beach nights, sugared violets, roasted pine cones. There were some other notes in there as well, I think. But some of my favorite scents put into a blend. Every sample of it that I've tried, I've just been a little disappointed in it because I didn't get the roasted pine cone. Like, it was very just perfumey, sugared violet beach marshmallow, which I love. It's beautiful. But for that scent, I wanted the roasted pine cone to come out a little bit more and smell it. So I decided just to try to make one on my own. So she's already got the sugared violet beach marshmallow, I think, scent, and then just adding roasted pine cones to it. The sugared violets is the Delicia Drench type from Sol de Janeiro. This is gorgeous. I definitely get the roasted pine cones, which I love. Beth has, I think, my favorite roasted pine cone oil out of anybody. It is exceptional. You get the creaminess from the beach marshmallow, the perfuminess from the Delicia Drench. I absolutely love this. I know it might sound like a little bit of a weird combination, but this is perfumey, but also kind of earthy, atmospheric in some ways with the roasted pine cones. Gorgeous. This is definitely more of the vibe that I was hoping for with Vanilla Orchid Noir. Now, granted, that one maybe just needs some cure time. You know, I've melted things very quickly after getting them, so as it cures, scents come out, and so that pine cone might come out a little bit more later on, but I was glad to be able to kind of make my own version of it, and I really, really like this. So that's my one, I guess my second custom. Okay, let me take a drink of my tea before I dive into all of Sterling's stuff. So this is when I was saying I feel like I need to dedicate this blend to Sterling. So Sterling did an atmospheric sampler with Beth, I think back in May. And when I saw the scent list revealed and I saw an atmospheric sampler, I told him, I was like, I think I literally screamed out loud. Every scent sounded unbelievable. And if you've been watching me for a while, you know how much I love earthy atmospheric. That is definitely my favorite scent category in wax. I don't think it gets enough hype. I do think more people are getting into it and getting more into the perfumey, but I love an earthy atmospheric scent. They're just, they're my favorite. So I freaked out. I was like, I have to have the sampler. Oh my gosh, I need this. Amazing. But back in May, especially, I was really feeling a lot of wax overwhelm. Like, I was just overwhelmed with how much was coming in. Teddy Bees was coming in. I had purchased from every Lavender and Speckles opening for like the last 2 years. Long story short, I decided to skip that pre-order, knowing that I was up for customs in July. So honestly, that's the only reason I was really able to skip that pre-order, because I knew I didn't want to miss these atmospheric scents. I was like, okay, I'll just get them when I do customs in July, and I'll get them in the large bags. So that's what I did. Actually really happy that's how this worked, because I think she offered them in clamshells, which was amazing, but now I have large bags of all of the scents, and that's what I would prefer. If she could just offer all the samplers in large bags. But really, I was very happy to know that, okay, in 2 months you can get much larger sizes, so why don't you just wait? So I have all those to share with you. Then Sterling did his own customs, and he is so creative. He's much more creative than I am, and comes up with some amazing blends, obviously, if you've had this atmospheric sampler. And he was posting pictures of his customs, and I was looking at them, and there were 2 that really stood out that also are earthy atmospheric. They fit right in. And I was like, holy cannoli, those sound amazing. And so I added them to my customs list. And I basically, when I filled out the customs form, I was like, Sterling's Customs. And I listed a couple of his blends because I was like, these are unbelievable. So I have 2 blends from his customs and then his earthy atmospheric sampler. So Sterling, this video is for you. At least this section of the video is for you, in a dedication of all of your amazing blends. I think I know which 2 were the extras and the other ones that are part of the sampler, but we will see. So first up, Woodland Escape. This is from the sampler. Fresh lavender, Palo Santo, coriander, mountain air, greens over a heart of vetiver, iris, and cedarwood. It's hard to pick a favorite out of all these, but man, this is so fresh, but not like clean fresh, more like fresh air. I definitely kind of get the greens. You get some of the woody notes. This reminds me, like, it's called Woodland Escape. This reminds me of walking into the woods on maybe like a very bright spring day, like a 70-degree day. The air is very fresh. You're kind of getting some floral notes from maybe like flowers nearby, but you're in the woods and you have the trees around you. This is so pretty. Perfect. Honestly, any time of your scent if you want kind of something earthy, but I think I would melt this in the spring with like the windows open. That's what this gives me. This is so pretty. And there are a few of these that I might have bought too and are giving to Natalie, so don't tell her. I think that package is long gone, on its way to her by the time this video posts, but there were a couple of scents that she absolutely loved as well, and so I grabbed multiples of them so she could have a big bag. But Woodland Escape, so good. Pacific Ocean. So this one does not have the right scent notes on the label, so I'm not sure exactly what the scent notes are. I was looking at it. This is brown sugar and figs, apple pie, and honey. And I was like, I don't think that's right. So I'm not sure what is in Pacific Ocean. But I get a lot of dirt from this, and I'm kind of surprised. I don't remember if dirt is in the scent notes, obviously, but I really get a dirty petrichor, and then I get like a fresh aquatic air. This is so pretty. This is when I have to like dirt to some extent to like this, because I am getting a lot of the dirt, which obviously I love, but I know not everybody does. And then I get this really bright, crisp, fresh aquatic notes. This is so pretty. Again, a good spring, summer. Open your windows. Oh, and I love the name. I love a lot of these. The names like is such a vibe. So that's Pacific Ocean. This one, I'm trying to remember which ones were. Okay, this was his custom. I want to do the customs separate from the sampler. Okay, I think those 2 are the customs. Let's finish off the sampler. So next is Murky Waters. Fresh ozonic ocean tide, roasted pine cones, and green leaves. Okay, I was texting him what my favorites were, but I swear every time I smell something, my favorites change. This is so good. It's got the roasted pine cone in it, which I absolutely love, but you really get that ozonic ocean tide. There is a watery ozone, and you get the green leaves. There is like a fresh green undertone to it. Almost like what you want seaweed to smell like. When you go to the beach and you're standing in the water and seaweed is rolling around, it's not what it smells like. It smells fishy and musty. But this is what I would hope, like, you're in the water and there's some seaweed around you would smell like. Can we get the ocean to smell like this? I love this one so much. This is so pretty. If you like green notes, if you like aquatic, the roasted pine cone is there, but it's not too strong. I'm obsessed. I am obsessed. Okay, Midnight Walk. This is Queen of the Night Flower, Oak Moss, and Amber. So this one definitely leans to me a little bit more perfumey, feminine in some ways. It's less fresh air. It's still very atmospheric, but I could see this being a beautiful, like, feminine, perfumey bedroom scent. It also definitely leans a little bit more floral in nature. This is so pretty. I love the oak moss and the amber. Those notes stand out kind of in the background, and I think blend like the Queen of the Night Flower really nicely. But I do feel like the Queen of the Night Flower is kind of your first note, but it's so pretty. You definitely have to like florals, but if you like floral, if you like perfumey, feminine fragrances, this one is so, so good. That was Midnight Walk. This one, Autumn Days. I think this is Chris's scent, if I remember right, that got added to the sampler. I love me an earthy atmospheric scent, but if you make it a fall earthy atmospheric scent especially, I'm all over it. This is Red Delicious Apple, Happy Camper, and Leaves. So Happy Camper, I can't remember exactly what's in it, but it definitely has a dirt component to it. This smells like you're outside in the fall, like you went on a fall hiking trip or fall camping trip or whatever, and you've got the apples and the leaves, and that's very fall forward, but you're by a creek and you're getting kind of a little bit of the dirt that would be like in a creek bed. This just truly smells like you're outside in the fall, and the air is crisp, but it's not too cold yet. The leaves are falling, but it's the crisp, dry leaves. It's not like wet, moldy leaves. You know, like later in the fall when all of the leaves start falling and everything is wet and kind of musty. I mean, I love that smell because it's very fall to me, but this is early fall. This is like the leaves are still very crisp. They're just starting to turn colors and they're just starting to fall. They don't have that kind of rotten leaves smell yet. This is so pretty. This is so, so good. Very excited to melt that this fall. And then I think the last of the atmospheric sampler is Outdoors Northwest. I have no words. I have no words. Petrichor, wild nettle, green leaves, moss, amber musk, rainwater, melon, and a hint of fresh cut grass. The mix of the melon with the grass, like you get melon, but it's not overpowering. It just adds a little bit of a fruitiness, like a little bit of a sweetness, which I think really balances the rest of these notes, because You got the petrichor, you have the very green notes. And so having that melon just, I think, helps sweeten all those notes up a little bit. You get the grass, you get the petrichor. This is so pretty. This is so, so pretty. Is this what the Northwest smells like? I've been to Seattle once, and then I went to Alaska, but I haven't spent near enough time up in like Oregon, Washington. But this is so pretty. You get the dirt, the earthiness, the sweetness from the melon. Gorgeous. What are my favorites? Murky Waters, Outdoors Northwest, Autumn Days, Woodland Escape. It's too hard to pick. It is too hard to pick. Okay, and then these last two are the ones that I saw he did customs of. And when I saw him post these on the Facebook group, I immediately wrote them down. I had to have these. Very much fit in with the theme of that sampler. And I think this first one at least is being offered in the fall pre-order. Equinox Drift. Hayfield, Red Apple, Falling Leaves, Ozone, and Barnwood. I had to have it. And I didn't see it on our master scent list. So I was like, I don't know if you can offer this, but I would love this scent if you can. And of course she did. This is unbelievable. So you really do get the red apple. You have to like apple for sure. But I get the ozone, the barnwood. There's a freshness to this. The hay gives it like this kind of earthiness. This is so pretty. I think the notes that stand out the most right now though are the red apple and the ozone. And then everything else is a little bit in the background, but a beautiful earthy fall fragrance. Equinox Drift. And then lastly, and this was one that I was texting him about too, being obsessed with, Severe Weather. This is ozone, wet concrete, rain, moss, petrichor, bergamot, lavender, and juniper. This one might be my favorite out of all of them. This is unbelievable. You get the ozone, you get the rain, the wet concrete, that really, after it's rained, kind of mugginess from outside, but it's also kind of sweet and fresh from the lavender, the juniper. Very, very clean smelling in some ways. This would be a good scent. It's not like bathroom cleaner or anything, but this would be a great scent to melt if you're cleaning the house. Again, a beautiful spring day. The windows are open. I love this. I love this so much. Hopefully this gets offered maybe in the spring or something, because if you're a fan of these types of scents, I know that you also would love Severe Weather. Okay, if this video is not long enough, that is it. Those are my customs. Like I said, I did get a few other things, but they got sent to Natalie, so I'm not sharing those here. But I really hope that you guys enjoyed seeing everything that I got for customs from Lavender and Speckles Scents. Thank you so very much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.